Sorry.
We didn't even start yet.
Yes, we are live.
Yes, we are. Hi. Oh, goodness. Paul.
Hello, everybody. We're having technical difficulties.
Yes, we are. We are experiencing technical difficulties. We are in the middle of getting that rectified at this moment in time. Excuse me, but there is a possibility that the stream may drop at some point. If it does, we will reschedule. If not, we're just gonna keep moving and kind of get started from there. But hi, welcome to In the Moment, the Vellum with Paul J. Sisler, Kornelia Blackmore, and we are interviewing Annait. So again, if you can't see Paul or if like Paul goes in and out, again, technical difficulties at the moment. Excuse me. Thank you, Paul. I spoke too much. But hi, I'm sorry. Listen, I couldn't help it because I don't know why. It was like when I saw you sitting there, it was like your waiting face. I'm so sorry.
It's going to be a long interview, but I'm ready for it. I'm here for it.
It's fine. It's going to be long. It's going to be great. Okay. So I was going to say, I've read a little bit of your work. Tell me about your book, I Am Cameron, which, by the way, towards the end of the show, if this video does go up and if it does process, like it finishes going through that, I'm going to go ahead and just put links in the description box below, or at least send them to Paul. So that'll be in the show notes for anyone that's interested in checking out Annait's work. But again, now I'm going to ask you the question. Listen, I don't follow a script for shit. I really don't. I don't follow a script for shit. But hi guys. Hi T Paul. Luke, good to see you all here. Okay, so Annait. Yes. What inspired I Am Cameron, which is actually like one of her books that's out. Go ahead. I know it's kind of a generic question, but
believe it or not, it's based on a semi-true story of someone that I met while I was doing in-processing at MEPS. I'm in the U.S. Army, so it was an overnight trip, so we got to stay in a hotel while we went to the medical side of it, everything in the morning. So we were all just hanging out at night, everybody going around in a circle, everybody just getting to know each other, and this guy just telling his story. I'm like, this is like book worthy. And I asked him, can I write the story for you? And he said, yeah, go ahead, which is why it's called I Am Cameron. His name is Cameron, not the same last name, but Cameron. And in the dedication, it's dedicated to Cameron. So he has a copy of the book. He told me he cried when he read it because of most of it's accurate, some of it, life. But that's what the inspiration for I Am Cameron was.
Okay, so now I have a question, which I am now like kind of getting to know this about you. But remember how I said in a Twitter space earlier where I was just like, I am so excited to see you in uniform. I saw you get up earlier and I can't remember where you were walking to, but I was just like, oh my God, you're in uniform.
Yeah, I closed the office door because there's soldiers here, so I didn't want, them to be too loud. But yeah, I took off the top, just, but everything else, I mean, this isn't uniform, but yeah, full uniform right now.
So, question, as far as like writing and publishing and stuff, have you found a lot of inspiration being in the military? Or is it kind of just like whatever happens? Like, what's your writing process when it comes to publishing?
As far as the military goes, there's some instances where like you see the crossover between military. I'm Cameron, Austin, the stepdad, he is ex-Marine, I believe, ex-cop at the same time. Some of my work in progress is one main character, Xander. He's FBI, National Guard. So it's incorporated there because it's what I know. I've been enlisted for 5 years now, going on 6. So that's something that's easy to incorporate. As far as the writing process goes, it just depends on the story. Some stories are more vivid. In my mind, things play as scenes in like movies, like images. But then I got to connect the scenes with like other parts and everything. So I got to fill in the blanks as I go. But the scenes are very vivid. For some books, for some of them, I was just like, oh, that sounds good. Let me just go ahead and jot that down before I forget about it. So that's what the beginning process is. And then I procrastinate while I write the entire time. The chat says 15. That's scary.
Sorry.
I just glanced down. I'm like, oh no.
That's why I said, I don't do that either.
But depending on the circumstance, like my current work in progress, Silent Sounds, that took me 4 months to write the first drafts, and I wrote in third person. I got my beta readers to read through everything, find things that didn't match, everything, inconsistencies, everything. And that's how I went from writing the book in third person to first person with multiple perspectives. So it was a complete rewrite. It went from 30,000 words to 80,000 words. And I did a rewrite in November, December, January, February. So I finished writing February of this year.
Nice. Good shit. Okay, first off, kudos on having a faster process.
See, it's not faster per se. It's just that I already had everything written in the first draft. It's just that this time I just switched it to first person. So everything was already. It was a very extensive outline basically. So, and it was during National Novel Writing Month, NaNoWriMo. So that was
God. Okay, so then that was why, because it was Nano. We'll just say that it was because of NaNoWriMo.
Nano did it.
We'll just say Nano did it.
Definitely Nano.
Well, first off, I have to compliment you. I absolutely love the setting and the concept of Silent Sounds. Like, as soon as you told me that, I was like, well, that's a dope ass concept. So again, for people that haven't read your work, please, tell us what Silent Sounds is about.
Okay, I can do this. I practiced.
You do it.
Okay. So Silent Sounds is the beginning of the Ameslin series. And basically the concept is Ameslin is an alternate Earth where people have to communicate in sign language because speaking is prohibited. Most people can't speak, but the few who can speak are usually hunted down and tested on by scientists, which are almost at the top of the hierarchy in this world, and eventually killed because, if people either fear what they don't know or they try to abuse it, and they chose fear. Fear was a great tactic, which ended up killing the people. And usually the people who are caught speaking are between the ages of 8 to 12, so they're kids. You're out here killing kids. My main character, Zalea, she's 17. She's gotten through the normal phases of the test and everything. She's the outlier of the group, but because she's older, she's also smarter. She knows how to evade things. She has parents who are scientists as well, but they went missing, so they can't protect her anymore. So now she's living with her aunt, who is a teacher, also in the top 5 of hierarchy within Ameslin, because teachers deserve that respect. More, that's the least they deserve. And this teacher, her aunt, she's a little crazy, but it's fine. It's fine. She's very, I guess vocal is the word to use, but she's very, vocal with her hands. She'll snap back anytime.
Hey, listen, the fact that the first chapter opened up with the teacher where she was just like, hey, yo, I'm finna box. I love that. I thought that was awesome. No cap. Like, that was actually what made me relate to the story as soon as I read it, because I was like, oh, I've been that person. I know I've been this person.
Yeah, she'll do anything for her kids. She loves kids. So, like, when she finds out that one of her students was taken out of class without her knowledge and everything, they're surrounding her with guns, trying to take her away inside a car. She's like, actually, no. And it only gets more crazy from there. We got some spies. We've got mysterious subplots like the parents' disappearance and everything. the scientist that's out to get both Zalea, my main character, and her aunt Emery. I'll get both of them. They just didn't know about it yet. So that saga is going to continue. I'm halfway through writing book 2 right now. So I'm thinking I'm not going to lie to you, but it'll be done. It'll be done. Time frame unknown. That says 24 comments in the chat. 27. Okay, cool.
Well, listen, I've got to tell you, I think that is an incredible concept. Where did that concept come from?
So I've always been interested in ASL. My cousin, he is deaf. And I only know just like ABCs, some little things like how to say like my name is, just to like get a conversation going with him because I want to be able to communicate with my family. It's my family. And then I saw the word, while I was doing some research for sign language, I saw the word Ameslin, which is an abbreviation for American Sign Language. So Ameslin. So it's already right there in the world, Ameslin, American Sign Language. That's what you're using. So that was the inspiration. But then I thought about the societal standpoint. We all, like most people, communicate, whether it's English, Spanish, some other language. But there's one form of communication everyone could do, but it's been neglected because it's circled around, it's just circled around being deaf or hard of hearing or that group. But you've narrowed your way to communicate with a certain set of people just because you didn't want to learn a language. Like you learned French or Spanish in middle school. What's different about sign language? So I decided, let's flip the script. What if speaking was the one you couldn't do now? What then? How are you going to learn? How are you going to communicate with people?
Oh yeah, no, listen, and I think that's incredible, like that you were able to do that. And I, especially when it comes to like family and stuff, like having that be a motive, I think that's incredible. Oh, by the by, we has a question from LR Evans, which is Luke. Says, Annait, what was the most traumatic scene in Silent Sounds, do you think? Which scene is just brimming with the most emotion? Luke, I love you for the questions that you asked. Thank you. But Annait.
I got my manuscript pulled up right here. So
he was like, I was ready.
I'm like, because I got my iPad streaming this, my laptop right behind it, holding it up, and then my phone on Instagram live streaming. I'm like, I don't, and water. I think, do I want to tell you the scene of the chapter? The most traumatic thing would be when the scientists are getting frustrated with my main character. So they try a new form of testing, one that's a little bit more, that's out of the contract I made because my main character made a contract. So like, you know what? You're going to treat him like a human being if you want these tests done right. So she got that contract, but it's been too long. They're not getting results. They're frustrated. So like, you know what? Screw the contract. Let's do this instead. So imagine 20-foot, 10 by 10, big glass box. She's put in the glass box, okay? And it's filling up with salt water, okay? And basically, with enough salt, you have buoyancy to float and everything. And they injected her with a serum that they could see into her memories and everything. And she needs to be in a sleep state to do that. So the water buoyancy just helps everything. But it's also a double. If they can't find what they want, they'll start flushing the water out when bringing some new water. And that will decrease the salt level and everything. So this, that will decrease her buoyancy and she'll start to drown. And she can't swim. She's been told to avoid water all her life. She cannot swim. So she's sitting there drowning, calling out to the one guy who realizes I should be on her side, not theirs. And she deserved better. I gotta apologize to her if she ever comes to life. But yeah, that's the most one in book 1.
Well, first off, I'm so sorry. And now I have to read it. Like, now I have to read it. So just give me a second because we actually have some questions here. thank you guys for asking the questions. We definitely appreciate you stopping in because, yeah. Go ahead, Paul. Wait a minute. Paul had a question. So I'm going to put his up there for Annait. Says, what was your motivation to put pen to paper? Where did your journey begin with writing?
I am very competitive by nature. I have 5 brothers, so everything was a competition. In middle school, they said, no, I think it was elementary school started. They said, you can't run fast. You can't beat me. I beat them. And then I started track. I did track all until I got to college. Art. You guys have seen my art. I use it for advertising, this, and the third. Someone in 6th grade or 7th grade said they were drawing some really cool anime picture. I'm like, oh, could you teach me? Said, no, you wouldn't be good at it. I'm like, bet. So that's why I started doing that too. And, I can only draw people, but, it's great. It's great. It's fine. That mentally hurt, but that didn't physically hurt. But writing was the one thing that I did that didn't require a competition to be made. It was something that was just me, just something that I enjoyed, something that didn't require me to compete with. I put my best effort out, but it wasn't a competition. It was something that was genuinely me from start to finish.
Well, first off, I love that. I was going to say having 2 older half brothers that did the same shit. I did it. You're right. Mm-hmm. You're right. It's always a competition. Like, especially like growing up with family and shit. Oh God. Yeah. Older brothers.
Too many of them. And I'm the second oldest. So it's not like, I was fighting down, like fighting them.
How did you? Never mind. See, I would ask how you fight down but never mind. My sister always was the one that won an argument. I was never the one that won an argument, so never mind.
But they're all boys. So eventually they got bigger, stronger, taller. The last part made me the most upset. So right. I had to beat them in a battle of intellect, and that's where my space, the Twitter space titles come from. So enjoy those.
I love that. Okay, so I have another question from Teepaw. It says, Annait, what was your favorite scene from the story, or at least what made it your favorite, and did you feel like it helped you grow as a writer? This is a very good question. Thank you, Teepaw.
I think my favorite scene of all time is the argument scene between Emery, the school teacher, and then Jericho, the spy. Mm-hmm. So I'm like literally giving the book away at this point, but it's fine because you're getting plot points. It's whatever. You'll still buy it. It's fine.
Because because you want to see how it all happened. So it's fine because you don't know the details of how we got here. Exactly.
Okay. So
you're welcome.
So he technically rescued her from her own stupidity. And in this scene, you see just how naive she is because she was living a life based on hierarchy. She's one of the 4th most powerful people in the world based on her occupation. So occupation-wise, as a teacher, and she's not like a new teacher, so she has more experience. So that gives even more power to her rank. Mm-hmm. If people walk by you, they say, "Good morning, teacher." So like she had that. Ever since she's gotten that job, it's just been in her mind. This is my power. This is what I've got. Jericho, he's what you call a drifter. He wasn't given the opportunity to get a job in society like everybody else. He had to be contracted out through official to official, which is like the police for protection. That's the actual name, protection officials. So from official office to official office, he was just sitting back and forth. So he has a different view of the world. He's like, you adore the hierarchy. Many people do not. Mm-hmm. Once you get that through your head, maybe you'll run away and actually succeed this time. And it's basically back and forth. She's like telling him, well, you're basically never getting out of this job. You're never going home. So I don't know why you're trying so hard. He's like, well, you're never going to see your niece again. Like, what do you want from me? And then just throwing blow after blow. And I think it really shows character development, character growth, just how they're interacting and everything. It is enemies to friends to lovers. So do with that what you will.
Sorry, I was going to say That's my favorite trope. It is, and it is. It's my favorite trope to write. Oh, it's so
It's
much
very
fun.
slow burn though, and the book is marketed young adult and new adult, so take that as you will.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate that. It's like, no, I am so impatient. That's my problem. It's fine.
Slow burn. You get nothing in book 1. I'm not sorry.
Damn it. Rude. The disrespect. Okay. So have another question from Kim. Again, thank you guys for all the questions. We really appreciate you. Kimberly asked Annait, what was the hardest part of writing Silent Sounds?
Writing. I'm thinking world building, I guess. Trying to create an entire world with entire cultures intermingling here, there. I mean, it's not as prominent in book 1 because it's multiple point of view, so you're shifting to the characters, everything. But it's mostly focusing on Emery and Zelaya in Nice. Emery's traveling through the continent, the wrong continent, trying to find her niece. And then Zelaya's in a building the entire time being pretty much tested on. So you don't get as much world building as you do in book 2, which I'm loving it because I fleshed out the world building just a little bit more, got deeper into it. They're traveling the world now. So I think world building and then like accurately and actively portraying it through the character lens. The way Zelaya sees it isn't going to be the way Elijah sees it. The way Emery sees it isn't going to be the way Jericho sees it. So getting into their heads and everything and making sure like trying to switch between their heads. That's like the hardest part because what she notices is the people. What he notices is the environment around everything else. It's like, oh, it's about to rain. So that's probably the hardest part, just making all 4 or 5 characters come to life.
Okay, so it was mostly character development and just building the world. That I can just say I wholeheartedly agree and I understand. Because same. Fucking same. Oh, we got lots of questions. Thanks, guys.
I know, I see them.
Yay, that's great. Okay, so Dana actually has a question. It says, I appreciate Annait's literature for the diversity it brings to the genre. Such a blend of content. Can you talk a little about the cover art design and format? What was the inspiration? I like this question.
Me too. Okay, so first and foremost, all my characters are Black. All of them. Black, everything. Yep. I figured, eventually if the United States became a melting pot, guess what? So can this world. These are people from Earth, thousands of years into the future.
It is. With
the same kind of diversity that we have now, mixing together, eventually becomes a melting pot. So Afro, Latina, just all those variations is there. So I definitely wanted Black character on the cover art as well, just to show like this is the foundation. I'm guessing she looks more like Zelaya than Emery. She looks more like a youngin. The design. So if you've seen the book, the cover for the book Silence of the Lambs, it has the same premise. Instead of a bee, there's a flower. And it just, I just got the inspiration from the title alone. There's not really many horror or thriller elements to the story like that. But Silence of the Lambs, there's a flower over the character's mouth. Silence. Silent sounds. And the flower has deep meaning too. There's a lot of flower imagery within the book. If you know anything about flowers, flower meanings, flower colors, this and the third, you'll pick up on it. And then book 2 will explain the book 1's flower. Book 3 will explain book 2's flower. Book 4 will explain book 3's flower because there's so that's a fun Easter egg that I think is going to be great to see.
Yes. Okay. I love that. I see that's dope. I like that. That's lit.
And of course, the color is mostly like a red tint everywhere, just so
Mm-hmm.
the gold can pop out more. I love my favorite color is yellow, so yellow kind of gold popping out. I'll take it.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So, this question is from Paul. It says, outside of writing and hosting Twitter spaces, what do you do for fun, like hobbies or entertainment or anything?
I sleep. I like my sleep. Sleep is great. I'm an artist. I love art in all mediums. I started off doing traditional pen and paper. Um, I feel like I did perfected that, which means I felt good enough about that I felt I could move into a different medium. Then I started using my iPad and Procreate to do some stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then Adobe Illustrator, all that stuff. So I'm still more new to the Adobe Illustrator part, but you know, I'm 22. I've got time to learn. Um, I occasionally hyperfixate on The Sims 4. You look guilty, Cornelia.
That part.
I'll like go months without playing it and then play it for weeks at a time every day. I'm
Yes.
currently at 180 hours, but I've only had this laptop for a year. So, you know, and then
We're not gonna talk about that though.
we're not gonna talk about that at
We're
all.
not gonna talk about nope. Nope.
And then I have an Xbox. I only play it when my friend in Hawaii plays it. She invites me and we play Fortnite and we lose together. So that's pretty much it. I enjoy book formatting. That's something more on the new side that I've gotten into. I just like making things pretty on the inside. So those are my hobbies.
Well,
and webtoons. I will read webtoons till the death of me. I will spend all my coins.
yes. Yes. Be like, take my money. Yes, I get it. It's webtoons. There's so many good webtoons, but we'll talk about that another time.
That's a different story. It's a different story.
It's a different story. We'll talk about that later. Okay. All right. So T-Paw's question, what is your approach to world building to make the world feel real and authentic with your own voice, and what's your favorite part of it?
What is your approach to world building to make the world feel real?
That face.
With your own voice. Part of it. I read it over like that would help, and nothing changed. I don't know. I feel like characters make the world come alive. So as long as they were good, they're the ones who bring the world alive. I could do as much planning with the history of the world. I have an entire document called a Muslim fact book. I have it separated by hierarchy, laws, history, culture. I have everything separated out inside a document there. But bringing it together is up to the characters to do because it's in first person. So what they see is what you'll see. So I think the authenticity comes from their point of view. So you'll see how one character will describe this one way, cut to the next scene where they're in the same scene, but this person does something completely different. The technology, the agriculture. This is an ecological society. They know we're screwing up Earth. They know we screwed up Earth. We failed in that part. They came to this new planet. Their main priority is focusing on the Earth and making sure they don't repeat history. That's what they're not trying to do. It's an ecological society. We don't cut down trees and build houses. We build houses around trees.
Right.
We use a solar power grid. There's 2 suns. Use a solar power grid. We have public transportation. There's not many cars. There's like 12 cars within the entire world. And most of them are with the royals. The royal people who are using cars for their own. But it's all solar powered. Nothing is, they're not hurting. They're minimizing any kind of hurt they're doing to the world. So that was the most fun part, making it like my idea of a utopia of what I want to be in right now, minus the killing me for speaking. But yeah, that was I think I'm answering that right. My favorite part. That was my favorite part.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So your favorite part was like creating characters to make the world like feel richer
Right.
in that way. Okay. Listen, I was going to say that's really cool because when I think of world building, I think of like building societies, not necessarily like individually, like on the people. So to hear it like the way you explain it that way, I think that's really fucking cool because I would have never thought of that. So thank you for that, honestly.
Of course. I'm honored. I'm happy. Great. Why are there 77 comments?
And then we got another question from Luke. Do your characters develop as you write them, like as they interact with other characters and encounter new experience plot points?
Yes, I'm a big fan of introducing new characters as we go along. Like when you meet Emery, you're like, oh, she'll snap at you for anything if you mess with her students. But as you go, you'll see that A, she values family. B, she does not take any disrespect, any way, shape, or form. C, she really enjoys her hair. she's not materialistic, but she loves her hair. That's the simplest way I can put it. Like when they're trying to hide from authorities, like you got to change your hair, cut it off. No, I will not. But as they interact with other characters, you'll see how Zalea switches her mindset from I'm just trying to stay under the radar to this is my comfort zone. I've lived with scientists for forever. You're not going to fool me. I run this building. You just don't know it yet. You see her develop there, and then you'll see Elijah go from why is she being so stubborn? We're just trying to do our jobs to oh my gosh, what was I doing? So they evolve as the book goes, and they don't even know it sometimes. I don't even know it sometimes. I'm just here. I'm just watching. I'm just supervising poorly, but I'm supervising.
No, you were basically writing down the incident report. Just a bunch of shit happened, and you were here to write the incident report. That's exactly what happened.
Thank you. That's all I'm doing.
You're welcome.
like you can't get mad at me for what you did. I'm just writing it down.
Right, you're just like, I mean, we're just writing it down. I don't know what to tell you.
If you don't do anything dumb, I don't write anything dumb.
Correct. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
So when writing silent sounds, because I did read some of it that was originally on Kindle Vella, which I think you're still waiting for it to come down, right?
It should be down as of now since.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a question. Which character's point of view was the hardest to connect with?
That's rude.
Because I say that you easily connected with Frank's character, if I'm being honest. I think you easily connected with one and Frank. I can't remember the teacher's name.
Frank is gone. I edited him out. He's gone.
Frank is gone. Why?
He's told from the teacher's perspective this time. I felt that was too much. Too much called. I thought it was too much info dumping. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna switch it around. So that's what I will still keep that up in my newsletter so you can read it. It'll still exist in the world. It's still saved in a different document, but Frank is gone. He's not in the official copy of the book.
I loved Frank's character. You did this to me.
It's because that was the only chapter with his point of view. Like there's nothing else with his point of view anywhere in the book. So I'm like, that feels
so let the side character be great.
But he's not great. We all know he's not great.
But I still needed that perspective. I resonated with that because right now all are saying Rip Frank. No, seriously,
he's not dead.
I'm still genuinely. You deleted him. That's the equivalent of dying.
He is somewhere waiting in a Google Doc. In a Google Doc, waiting to be in a newsletter. He still exists in theory.
Yes, in theory. I'm not gonna say anything else.
What was the question you asked? I forgot. I gotta make his eulogy.
I said, which character point of view was the hardest for you to connect with?
Emery. I will say it. It was Emery.
Really?
It was Emery.
You mean that was the teacher, right?
That was a teacher. The main character.
But you know what, though? I understand because mine is with Carmina now. See, I've shifted, so I understand.
She's very heart on her sleeve kind of person. Very outspoken.
Hmm.
I am okay with not saying a word. You guys know me. I open Twitter Spaces. I host them, and then I mute myself and fall asleep while you guys talk. Like, you guys talk more than I do. She's super outspoken, so having to take on that mindset, like that was like I have thoughts I keep in my head. She puts them out there. She puts them out into the open, and that's just something new to me. And she'll fight you for whatever reason. I mean, I'll get in verbal fights. I enjoy that, but she will fight you. She will put hands on you. In the book, she's done it
Okay,
three
so
times.
throwing hands. She threw hands 3 times. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm talking about this like it's a real person. This is my problem.
Yeah, what now? But yeah. So,
Right.
like, one was with the head scientist and one was with Jericho. She didn't win the one with Jericho, but she got a couple good licks in.
I was gonna say I didn't think that she would, but oh my goodness.
I
But
think
she
my internet might be back.
Working? Okay.
Yeah,
I hope so. This could be temporary, but books by Annait are I Am
Thank you.
Cameron and Silent Sounds.
Thank you.
And where can they be found, Annait? Where can people purchase those at?
currently they're both just on Amazon. I Am Cameron is available in paperback and what's the one that's not paper?
Hardback.
ebook.
Digital, yeah.
That one.
Kindle.
Hardback.
Yes. That one.
All right.
And Silent Sounds is currently on pre-order on Amazon as well. I will get the paperback set up as soon as I can, but right now it's just the ebook.
Okay.
Nodding.
I did. I already pre-ordered my copy. So
Yes, I have my pre-ordered copy also.
yes.
Merci beaucoup.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Like somebody else said I had to like go to a different language. Why are there 111 comments?
You're just like, why?
Like my social battery is like, hey, recharge. I'm like, but this is important.
Yeah. I want everyone to give Kornelia some love and some hands up. At the last minute, she took over this show because my internet was out. I turned her into an administrator, and she it's like, Kornelia, this is all on you. And
Right.
you've done an awesome job. And Annait, thank you for being patient. And I'm sorry that we had those issues and everything at the beginning. I hope this isn't just a temporary thing with the internet. I hope it works from here on out. But
Yeah.
you never know what can happen like that. So I had some other questions for you. If it's sorry for me to jump in here.
No, go ahead.
I have some other questions for you and all that. I know you're awesome on Spaces, and you do a lot of good readings and everything. And I know that you get nervous. All right. Yeah. And I know this is kind of putting you on the spot a little bit.
No, at all. No,
how do you, with as nervous as what you are and what you were when you were coming on here, how do you try to overcome that, and what motivates you to go forward anyways? Because there's a lot of people that will get so nervous that they couldn't do this. They wouldn't be able to do this. And I commend you because it takes a lot to get up here and actually do that. So what is it that you can bring forward to get yourself to come out here and do this?
I have no shame. I will embarrass myself if need be, because I feel that my characters deserve this at the very least, because it's for them. And I also feel that I don't want to speak on behalf of a community, but a book where ASL, American Sign Language, is the most prominent form of communication throughout this entire series, that needs to be read as well. So if I had to sit here and shake from nervousness and the cold, so be it. That's good enough of a reason for me.
Well, you are an inspiration.
I am also cold.
Yes.
No.
Well, you've done a spectacular job today. I'm proud of you. You've done a spectacular job.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
We both did good. I was gonna say we all did good. We all
Yes.
did. Despite right, I was gonna say despite the setback, I feel like we all did really good.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Does anybody in the audience have more questions? You can have questions for Anaya, Kornelia, myself. Any more questions and everything? Uh, Again, just wonderful, wonderful people. This community, this writing community, is a spectacular community of people. And I've noticed a lot of people from the writing community are in the comments. I love the support that you're giving this. It's an amazing thing. And I plan on doing a lot more with this. So, any more questions and comments for our wonderful Anaya?
Please say no.
I was gonna say, like, other than just I can't wait to read the book, like, when it's done. All right, I'm so gonna say that. Rip Frank, it's fine.
Now, at the beginning, normally I usually ask, besides, hey, introduce yourself. Where are you from, Anaya? Where are you from?
I'm from good old sweet old Georgia, born and mostly raised.
Beautiful, beautiful. And growing up, I know you kind of covered this a little bit. When growing up, did you ever think that you would end up being a writer?
No, I thought I'd be a lawyer. Everyone thought I'd be a lawyer. They said you're very good at arguing. I'm like, you're right. So that's where I saw myself at first, and then I saw myself as an artist. But then I didn't want to hate what I view as a stress relief kind of thing. Um, then a psychologist because I fell in love with criminal minds. um, a lot of things influence, but I've always been interested in languages, sign language to be more specific, French as well, Japanese, because I want to watch my Japanese animes without subtitles. But I didn't start seeing myself as just a writer until high school.
High school?
My Wattpad days, short-lived. Thank you so much. They were short-lived. But, oh, Cornelia, you look great in that light. Sorry, it just caught me off guard. But I never saw myself as just a writer. I thought, oh, this is going to be a hobby. I didn't see myself pursuing it as much as I'm doing now.
Okay. Now, the other question that I'd like to ask, and I also asked this of Cornelia when I interviewed her and all that, do the characters that you have, how much of you do you see in those characters? How much of the characters' personalities, the actions, the personality, how much of that is Anaya as we know you?
I think all of it is, well, not all of it's me, but all of it is like just some of my personality. Like I think in logic. I'm not very high. Not saying I'm not emotional, but like, my brain is more logical, and my characters. We've got a scientist in training, someone who was raised by scientists, someone who's dealt with military instructor the entire time. These are all different people, by the way. And then Emery, who's just free everything. That's probably why I was so hard to relate to her, because she's not the one with the logical mindset. She's the more of the led by emotions. That's what she is. But it makes sense for the series because they have to be guided by logic to survive and run away from eventually being hunted down and killed. Then there's, aside from just the logical mindset that some of them portray, then there's just the some actions, like Zaleo. She may be in a predicament where she's nervous or scared, everything, but if she feels like, oh, this could be interesting, she'll push the limits just a little bit just to see how it goes. That's me. But everything else, as far as Elijah and his secrets, my main antagonist Soul and her secrets, Jericho and his huge secrets, you'll find out, you'll see it. Those aren't me, but those are some situations I know from other people, and like creating it's just been crazy.
All right. Before I turn it right back over to Kornelia to run this thing as brilliantly as she's been doing, Dana had a question, and that's one of the questions I was going to ask you. How many works in progress do you have at this time?
That I'm currently working on, or that I have outlined and should be ready to work on?
Both.
That I'm currently working on? Okay. So, Silent Sounds, that's done and out of the way. Book 2 of Silent Sounds, a book called Rapunzel, but with a W because she's a film student in college. Rapunzel, Blood Country. These are ones I'm currently working on. The Crisis That Never Happened. Into the Fire. That's what it was called. I was thinking of book 2 for it, but Into the Fire. Those are 6 that I'm working on. To find the other ones I'm not working on, give me a second. Sorry for people on my Instagram. I for some reason I still use Wattpad to outline my books because you can't start writing chapter 1 until you set up the details and everything. So which is why I love it. So there's.
I use outlines also. I love outlines.
Let's see, books to be written in the future. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16 were after those.
16. Excellent. I love it. Cornelia, back to you.
Can I just say I love your book titles? I do. I really, really like your book titles.
That's like the first thing I come up with. Like, I mean, Silent Sounds was, at first it was called a Meslin Silent Sounds, or the Silent Sound, or the Lost Sound. But I just stuck with Silent Sounds and then put like a Meslin series. But I think the titles you're going to love for the Silent Sound series as they progressively get more vocal, literally. Like Silent. Book 2's title is called Whispering Waters, Silence to Whispering. And I like the double, like, I love alliteration. So SS, Silent Sounds, Whispering Waters, WW. It's my favorite. Oh, let me go back to Instagram. Hold up. There we go. Yeah, I like the double letters, but I want them to be one step higher each time. So silence to whispers, and then crescendo, basically.
I like that. Okay, so you come up with your book titles first before writing the story?
Yes. Yes, that's like the first thing I do. And sometimes just a placeholder, but most of the times it's like in game. Like The Crisis, like the book that's The Crisis That Never Happened, that one's a mystery. That one's on Kindle Vella, but editing that one heavily. That was called The Crisis Never Happened. You'll see why. And book 2 is called The Crisis That Never Ended.
Mhm.
So, like, just the titles alone, I'm like, if it's a title that I like, I'm pretty sure people are gonna like it too. They're just like fun titles.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I actually really do enjoy your titles, and I can't wait till the rest of this comes out so I can read it. Okay, thanks.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I don't come up with the title first. I do
I
my
don't either.
outline first, and then I come up with my title, and then I start writing.
I come up with the title, a little synopsis, like a blurb, and then in that blurb is where I find the name for the main character because I didn't know before that. And then I create the character, and then I do a very, very basic outline that I just write. The outline's just there for suggestions. It never works the first time.
No.
So I just take a character concept and another character concept and a general idea, and I write it down. I don't do any of that. Wow, that was the other reason I just looked the way I did, like as you guys were talking, because I was like, I don't do that. Oh, I love people comment. Yes, the titles do have a good ring to them. Yes, they do.
I like oxymorons too. A silent sound. How can it be a sound if it's silent?
Me too. That was the other reason for. I think I told you a little bit about something else that I had been working on called the Howling Division. I think you remember that. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. So I actually titled it The Howling, but she can't because, So I was kind of, we're here.
I'm like, I love it. Contradictions and oxymorons.
Love it. It's genius. Go ahead, Paul.
Oh no, I'm good on my questions. Do you have any more questions for Annait?
I was gonna say no, because other than, like, when are you going to be done with, I would say, all of your projects, but you probably don't know that because I'm totally putting pressure on you by this question.
It's okay. It's fine. Well, Silent Sounds will be out November 11th officially. That's the day I said, and I'm sticking with it. I think maybe the paperback will be out a week later at the latest. But that's the goal.
Okay.
All right. Now, usually I have a lot of things that I put up, and because of the start that we had, I lost connection to things, so I don't get to do all the pretties and the banners and the brand things that I had.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry I don't get to put the pictures of your books up this time. On our next interview that we have with you, we will definitely do that.
Absolutely.
This has been an excellent show. It's been an excellent show with everything that's gone on, all the hard start that we had. Excellent show. I love it that as many people that came in that did. Again, it's another really good start. Make sure that you catch Annait on Twitter Spaces, and let me see here if I can do a quick banner with your YouTube. Create a banner. Here we go, and let me try to. What's your at, Annait?
For Twitter?
Twitter.
For Twitter.
That's a good question. It's probably just my name, actually. But let me just double check real quick.
I believe it's your name, LJ.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see if I got this right. Is this it?
Yes.
Okay, so this is where you can find Annait on Twitter. Are your other connections like Instagram and stuff like that in your bio on Twitter? Or
yes, it is. My TikTok, Instagram, newsletters, anything you want to find. It's on my Linktree bio.
All right. Now, I was in the process of working on all of this when the internet initially went out, at like about 10 after 12. And I'm freaking out trying to get a hold of Optimum. Like, what's going on? There's a power outage or a outage in your area. And it's like 12:30 rolls around and it's just like, oh no, what do I do? What do I do? For me, we got to get this. I'm trying to call Kornelia, and I finally get a hold of Kornelia. I'm telling Kornelia, and well, we're in the room waiting for you. What? It's, oh my goodness. So, and then when we do get it up to where I can, I go to a hotspot. So the three of us are talking, and they're just laughing their asses off at me as I'm frustrated as hell.
Great. Yep.
Not at you, with you.
With me.
Yes, with you. Yes.
But I have another show later today with J.H. Colts. Hopefully my internet stays on and I don't have to go through this. Kornelia, I might keep you on standby and might even add you to that if you are available.
Yes, maybe.
Okay. So because if my internet drops on me again, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah. You're like, that's it. I'm done. That's it. Today is canceled. We are not todaying anymore. How about that?
Oh man. Poor Joe, my stepson, poor Joe and all that. He's like, Paul, calm down. Paul, calm down. Because you guys know me. I never get wound for sound like that. I never get like, I never lose my shit. And I lost my shit. But Kornelia, awesome show. You did an awesome job. Anaya, thank you for coming on here. I plan on having you coming on again and again and again. Especially once your book comes out, I want to book you for when it comes out and get you out here talking more about that. If you're interested.
I am.
All right. All right.
Yes.
Anybody else have anything to say before we close her out today?
I was just gonna say, Annait, it was really cool to like have this dialogue, this conversation with you, and to kind of shoot the shit. So, I mean, listen, it's always fun hanging out with you. So, thank you again for coming on the show and patience with me.
Always.
It's been awesome.
You did awesome. Both of you did awesome. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and supporting us. We appreciate it. And remember, be kind, be happy, and make good things come your way. This is Paul Sisler with In the Moment, Kornelia Blackmore with the Vellum. Anaya, thank you. Everyone have a good day.